shifting sands reflect change that is gradual and never-ending, making it an apt theme for this year's EvalFest. It was a 3-day evaluation festival that brought together some of the world's finest sector experts, creating a melting pot of ideas, innovations, and insights. We at Sambodhi are deeply committed to bringing these learnings to you, but with a twist of our own. Presenting Evidence Dialogues, a conversation series born out of the many stories that were left uncaptured during the sessions at EvalFest. With this series, we bring to you a stellar lineup of sector experts talking about their experiences and the countless learnings they've gathered in their journey of bringing transformation. We spoke to Rajib, Vice President of Knowledge Management and Capacity Development at Sambodhi, who's also the co-founder of Evaluation Community of India. With him, we spoke about the key takeaways of EvalFest, the interactions it enabled, and the evolving nature of evaluation communities, especially in the Global South. Hi Rajib, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, a huge congratulations on another successful round of EvalFest. I had a great time there, it was so interesting. What were some of your favorite moments from the 3 days of EvalFest?
Thanks, Aishwarya. No, I think definitely a lot of hard work actually behind this event, and it came out so well. Finally, those 3 days event have definitely all of us, the entire team with EQI and other partners, absolutely very happy. Now, if you ask me three key moments or moments that I enjoyed most, then let me tell you, as soon as I entered the hall on the 21st of February, and I saw this event is now organized by EQI. Definitely, they are the primary organizer from the very beginning. But this time we brought Evaluate India as a co-organizer. So when I saw 2 logos on 2 sides of the banner, and those 23 partnering organizations, all very prominent leaders in the development space, that looking at the banner and it definitely gave a lot of happiness and pleasure that, oh, fine. So it's finally happening with so many partners. Okay. So that's definitely one moment I definitely enjoyed. But second thing, Aishwarya, I should tell you, for some time now, the people who started these evaluation movements in India and outside India also, we always mentioned one thing that evaluation is basically for people. It's not for the evaluators. It's not for the donors. It's not for the big bilateral, multilateral organizations. It's for people. Where are those people there in the event? We brought people, citizens, communities this time. Not many of them definitely, but a few of them actually came. They organized a session, who drives mail. It's a very interactive kind of session facilitated by our team only, EQI and Evaluate India, and they participated. They co-created what should be the future of evaluation, how we are contributing in the field of evaluation, what's our role, raise those concerns, those voices. And when I saw that so many people from the communities, from the practitioners who practice at the grassroots level came together and organizing this session, fantastic. I think we do one thing in EvalFest is the Innovation Bazaar, which happened on, I think you attended that. Yeah, absolutely. I saw it there. This is basically kind of an informal space, and there people, practitioners from the grassroots level, they come with their innovations, the ideas, exchange ideas, demonstrate their innovative ideas. So that's one definitely aspect. We'll speak about it later maybe. But this one session by community people, definitely that's one very, very happy moment for me. And the final one thing, let me tell you, this time we had 2 very meaningful, interesting sessions on how to strengthen the voice of the Global South. I mean, why I'm telling this, let me tell you. See, if you look at the history of evaluation, okay, 1950s, 60s, when the discourse started getting consolidated, Okay, the age we call experimental age, experimental wave, the age of innocence, when it's getting consolidated. The same time, in India, we also started practicing evaluation through Planning Commission. Planning Commission created kind of an unit at the central level and at the state level and at in different states actually. But that what happened in between that evaluation became a global north discourse. And we remained at the same place. We couldn't take it to that next level. I mean, as a discourse, as the discipline of evaluation. Okay, what we did in last 70 years, we followed the approaches and frameworks developed by the global north primarily. We maybe tweaked here and there, but primarily we followed the path they showed to us. But what's our knowledge, our experience? Why we have so vast experience, we have diverse kind of experience. Evaluation is practiced here in the global south, but why we fail to contribute our knowledge in the discourse? So definitely it's a major concern for me. And this time we organized 2 sessions on Global South primarily to sharpen the Global South voice. So we brought together speakers from different continents, from Latin America, from Africa, from South Asia, from Southeast Asia. They came together, talked how we can sharpen, we can raise our concerns and voice, and how we can bring our own kind of knowledge systems, how we can contribute in the knowledge system. Okay, this is not to create a divide between North and South. This is more to bring 2 knowledge systems together to enrich the field of evaluation. So I think these 3 moments I just wanted to share with you.
We also spoke a lot about SDG 17, right? The importance of building communities and partnerships. A lot of the speakers also emphasized how important it is to bring these voices, the voices of the people, to evaluation, so that the policies and programs that are created for them do the work that it intends to do. So you have their empowered voices and also answers to very critical questions. I know that you're an ardent supporter of youth engagement in evaluation. What are some of the key developmental activities that adolescents need to be involved in, and their importance in youth engaged evaluations? Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, no, it's a great question actually. Thank you for asking this question. For some time now, okay, I would say for at least for last 10 years, the people who started this evaluation movement globally started realizing that this youth evaluators play a very important role in evaluation. You go to any kind of evaluation organization, okay, even your own organization, if you look at the people who are doing actually the conducting evaluations, 60-70% of them are young evaluators. So we understood that their role and what value they bring, but there was no particular mechanism or system to streamline these youth evaluators meaningfully, to engage them meaningfully in evaluation, and what's the requirement for them. So we used to say that these youths are present and future of evaluation. But in 2015, we launched a kind of a global different networks, and one of those global networks, one was the Eval Youth. Okay, yeah. So primarily to strengthen these kind of thinking and create kind of some doable action points, how we can engage. And definitely from 2015 onwards, several other smaller networks came. We have different kind of chapters, region-wise, national chapters are there of Evaluate. As a kind of senior professional in this field, what I think, I mean, all of us actually, we agree with this thing that the youth evaluators, young evaluators, they bring a different kind of a perspective here. So their own perspective, which otherwise may be missing there, okay, in practice. Then I think this is a kind of a great value. They also bring a lot of critical thinking in evaluation. Okay, they can engage with the people, with youth community much more meaningfully. They understand, the requirement, the need. So apart from raising voice and concerns, also they can enhance the quality of evaluation, the quality of data, quality of conversations. So those are the kind of additions they always bring in practice of evaluation. But one thing is we have to think also slightly more carefully, maybe to create many young evaluators is not enough. Okay, I mean, we are consolidating, strengthening the supply side of evaluation. Why is the demand for evaluation? We need demand. No, otherwise, even if I know there are several young volunteers are there in the evaluate networks everywhere, very, very committed, very, very motivated. They want to contribute, they want to learn, they want to take the leadership positions, to do meaningful, impactful evaluations. But do we have enough to offer them? We don't have that kind of demand. So I think I liked one thing in this event, what the Evaluate India, our co-organizer of this event, what they did, they organized a very nice, interesting panel this time, roundtable, on institutionalizing evaluation capacities. So, and they brought, I think, around 8-10 speakers, both senior evaluators and the young evaluators, and started kind of a dialogue among these two kind of groups to take this idea forward at the system, at the government systems level, basically to strengthen the advocacy part of this evaluation movement. What I think we failed to do it. Evaluation Community of India, the group of senior evaluators, we failed to we initiated dialogues, but we couldn't take it forward. I'm really very hopeful on this new group. I'm sure they will be able to take it forward and will be able to bring those kind of changes in the government systems.
In that line of thought, Rajib, I was speaking to one of the speakers there, and in our conversation I had mentioned young evaluators, and the speaker had politely told me, it's young and emerging evaluators. And that thought really struck me quite well. Could you please tell us what the difference is and why is it important to say young and emerging instead of just young evaluators?
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah. Interesting observation, actually. Young evaluators, there is a definition, standard definition, what young evaluator means actually. So, young evaluators means who is less than 35 years and then who has less than maybe 5 years of experience in the field of evaluation. So, those are the people whom we call them young evaluators. Okay. Emerging evaluators may be slightly older, but may not have many years of evaluation experience, like maybe 3, 4, 5 years of experience. But why it's so important, let me explain it to you. See, when we started even these evaluation associations and movement in the global south, primarily if we take the example of South Asia, and that's the oldest evaluation, one of the oldest evaluation associations in the world. See, before that, evaluators used to be the professionals from the global north. It is not taught here, no. I mean, evaluation is not taught in the university level. Yeah. But evaluation is an old discipline, 70 years old discipline in the north. Not many universities teach evaluation, but there are definitely a few good universities in the West who teach evaluation. So what happens, here the professionals, we had a lot of, when we started, 2002, 3, 4, that's the period we started these associations, we had many development scholars, development practitioners, professors, teachers, who used to do evaluative research, but not in the field of evaluation. So like me, when I joined evaluation, I was more than 35 years old. So, but I was emerging that time because I didn't have prior experience in conducting evaluations. I was not aware of so many of approaches and frameworks already developed by the practitioners, by the scholars, by the thought leaders. So now if you want to create, if you want to extend the field of evaluation, You need the people who are also interested, may not be young people, maybe seasoned senior professionals, but want to join the evaluation. They're the emerging evaluators. This is the idea basically. So it's like much more inclusive. So that's why you call it young, YEE, young and emerging evaluators. Right, yeah.
There were so many speakers there who were basically in their 20s, and then there was senior professionals as well, and seeing them interact with each other, there were sparks of ideas, and everyone just, oh, this is interesting, we should look at it. Even afterwards, when I was speaking to a couple of speakers that said, EvalFest doesn't end here. It's the end of 3 days, but the conversation doesn't end here, and that's what we're hoping to do through this forum. Take these conversations forward and also make something out of them that's tangible and real.
Right. No, absolutely. Just let me come with one small kind of like, my recent observations. Eval for Action, that global kind of a forum, also promotes young and emerging evaluators. So they started a kind of blog series, okay, and one young evaluator, maybe in the 30s, contributed in the blog. I'm one of the kind of reviewers of those blogs, and it was a very interesting kind of a piece. He or she, I don't know, because it's anonymous. Highlighted that. A basic fundamental question that person raised, like, what value actually evaluation is bringing in knowledge creation, in understanding how program functions at the global or at regional level. So, and that person brought that question from one of his or her recent conversation with a very senior program person of a global organization. And that man actually raised like, so look, sorry, I don't have anything to learn from the evaluators. I know enough. I know why some programs work and some programs don't work. What additional knowledge you will give me? With my 25, 26 years of experience in the field, I know everything. And that person raises thing, then where are we? I mean, how we can make it relevant, still relevant and impactful for the program people. See, evaluation is primarily why we do it. We want these evaluation findings and the learning to be used by the program people, by the policy makers, by the governments. Okay. Now, if they fail to understand the value, then we are nowhere. So, so these critical questions the young evaluators bring. And that's why I think a lot of respect, mutual respect for the senior and young evaluators, which we also observed during those 3 days.
And so many leaders coming up from all kinds of backgrounds, all kinds of contexts as well. That was also a very interesting aspect to it. But that could happen because it was an in-person event. But online events are all the rage right now. EvalFest was primarily an in-person event where speakers, as we just spoke, speakers and participants from all over the world joined us. And with their ideas and insights and innovations, we talked a lot about all of it. But some would argue that it limited the reach and the convenience of an online event. What would you say to those people, and what would you do what would you do differently next time?
No, I completely agree with you. It's a very, very important issue actually. When we are organizing the event, we invited many global leaders. So one very prominent global leader, I am not taking his name. We, as organizers, we wanted him actually on the dais, during the event. But he declined our invitation primarily because he's telling that these days I don't travel only just to attend an event. If you want to organize a panel, you do it online. I'll come online and I'll deliver my presentations. I'll speak about my experience and whatever. So why he is thinking it from the perspective of carbon emissions. Okay, so this is definitely, and a lot of resources, so much of food for so many people, lot of travel, definitely. So, this is fundamental question people are raising. I agree and I respect that. But me, observed, experienced many online virtual events from 2020 onwards, frankly speaking. We organized many actually, at least first 2 years of the pandemic, 20 and 21. But when I looked at the kind of like, the quality of knowledge exchange, okay, and the quality of the intents of interaction, it's not only like, you coming and making a presentation on your, like, ideas. Maybe that's possible through, equally possible through an online event. But the informal space that is created by the in-person event is enormous. We may not be able to measure it how much, but its impact as a development professional with so many years of experience, I think it has its immense value to create those informal spaces. Like, that session like Innovation Bazaar.
Exactly.
This kind of like, this is kind of a space where like, around 100 people interacting with each other in teams, knowing each other better. Also, a lot of ideas are coming through those in conversations. Okay, so this has its own value. We just can't simply deny that. Okay, so I'm a person who always like, I know that, if you want to do a small one panel or two panels, yeah, possible. But events like this to bring so many people from different places, to create those kind of informal spaces for interaction, for knowledge exchange, networking, like, to know each other better, because we also have, this all has its own value and advantages actually. So definitely I am always in favor of in-person events, but definitely other kind of like, perspective, I completely respect that. We'll see next time how we can minimize those things, possible or not. So that's why what I'm thinking, to create more these kind of spaces there in the in-person event. So it won't be a kind of like technical sessions. We call it in some seminars, inauguration and then technical session. So we'll create these kind of like round tables. A few actually we had these two sessions that we organized on the Global South Voice. One was a very informal kind of round table without a panel of speakers there. It is just one facilitator. We brought around 30-35 people in the room, started kind of a discussion like, what are the challenges while we practice evaluation, and then open the floor and allow people to like, voice raise their concerns, their issues, their experiences, whatever. So yeah, so more interactive maybe. We'll see how we can do that, definitely.
Thank you so much for your time, Rajiv.
Thank you, Aishwarya. Thank you so much for inviting me.